the answer to that because I have not lived my whole life yet. But I can tell you sometimes I don't think about any of the abuse for a long time. And sometimes in the happiest moment, hanging out with my family, hanging out with my kid, we're having a great time. And then we're watching a movie and like there's something, a little thing that nobody else would get triggered by, but then it takes me back to, something that happened in my childhood or as an adult. But now I have the tools to ground myself and realize I'm safe. I'm here in my apartment with my family. It's 2023. So I have tools now to keep me from being sucked under. So it gets easier, but I don't know if it'll ever be away, gone completely. But then I also wonder, is that something that I want to erase completely? Because it is part of my story and it is part of the reason why I do the things that I do. So I don't know.
Will the pain ever be gone? I would say yes and no. And I say yes because when you go on take that journey to heal, you grow through things that help you stay in the present. They keep you from just constantly reliving in your mind what has happened. And I would say that when you go on your healing journey, it teaches you to not hold on to like the constant negativity that has happened or even the stuff that's happening after. I say no because some of the best lessons I have had is through going through that painful experience. So those are things that I don't want to let go of because it taught me a lot. So I keep those things just kind of like in my pocket, in my toolbox, so that I won't run into that same experience. But I also am conscious enough to know that, I'm not going to allow it to dictate what happens in my day to day or my future.
So that is still one of those questions that is really tricky about will the pain ever go away? I think it definitely depends on the person and your willingness to want to heal from that pain. It is a yes and no answer for that. So there's something that's it's called trauma focused cognitive behavior therapy. And part of that therapy piece is something called gradual exposure. So in gradual exposure, it helps and teaches you how to talk about the incident or what happened to you, but in a safe way. And the more you talk about it and expose the situation or the hurt or the problem or the trauma, it gets easier. So I call it it's like riding a bicycle. And when you're riding this bike, you're learning, you have training wheels. And as you continue to ride this bike, you take off those training wheels and now you're learning how to ride the bike without those training wheels. And it's almost like a baby. Even still, you have to crawl before you walk and you walk before you run. So those things that I'm kind of describing is what gradual exposure is. It helps you to minimize the hurt. It helps you to begin the healing. But healing is one of those things that I also try to teach and tell people healing is not, I will never feel anything ever again. That's not what healing exactly is because you can get triggered. It's about you learning ways to deal with those things when you become triggered in a safe way, in a healthy way. And the hurt, I will say, definitely will be minimized, but I can't say that for certain that the hurt just will never be there anymore. And there's a possibility. But the safe thing about it is what have you learned in order for you to still progress and move forward to survive to the next day?